not the end of this longevity revolution. It is truly just the beginning stages of a longevity revolution. In fact, throughout 99% of all of human history, the average life expectancy has been under the age of 18. 18. But today we are definitely living longer, we're living better, primarily because we have this incredible healthcare system that has allowed us to do so. So that as a result, in the 20th century, as you can see by looking at this chart, we received a longevity bonus. A 30-year longevity bonus, because if you go back just 100 years ago, the average life expectancy was only 47. The median age was 17 and a half, and the fear that most people had was of dying young. That was pretty much the way the world looked back then. And very few people thought about retirement planning. It just was not on the radar screen at all. But as you can see in the 20th century, life expectancy skyrocketed, putting retirement front and center on everyone's radar screen. And here we have John Glenn. Now, I love John Glenn. I think he's a great example. Here's a guy who's had several careers, his last one going up into space at age 77. But you know, he got a lot of flack for that. The media came down on him. They said, well, you know, it's just a publicity stunt on the part of NASA and on the part of Glenn. But he turned around and had a very interesting comment. He said, you know, just because I'm 77 doesn't mean I don't have dreams. And that point, that is an important point. It's an important point for you, for your families, for your clients, to realize that just because you hit a certain age, you're not over the hill. I don't know about you, but I love demographics. You're looking like, what kind of a crazy person loves demographics? Well, I love the fact that they're incredibly predictable. They make you seem so smart. And in our unpredictable times that we live in, it's nice to know that you can count on something happening. And this really does give us a window into the future. So let's open that window and look at what's happened over the last 50 years. Now, if we go back in time, follow that orange bar, by the way, that's where we see the population growth over the last 50, 60 years, and into the future, too. If you were in the baby food business or the diaper business back in the 1950s, you were in the right place at the right time. Back in the 1960s, anything to do with teenagers, right place, right time. Jeans business, acne medication, record business, fantastic opportunities. Into the 1970s and the 1980s, young family formations, anything to do with that would have been good business. And then we started to see a shift into that so-called second half of life. And look at today. Today we begin to see that we are no longer a youth population, and in some people's minds, not even a midlife population. We are becoming an older population. The very sort of center of gravity of our country is moving out. And if you think, by the way, that this is an anomaly, let's look into the future. It's huge. So, you might say, as the diaper business was to the 1950s, the financial services industry will be for today and the future. It is a huge opportunity. Throughout most of history, we've lived our lives in a very linear, age-defined way. We knew exactly what to do based on how old we were. First, we learned. Generally, we just did that. We only had the opportunity, really, to do that once. Then we fell in love and we got married and we had children. They went off and they did their own thing. Husband retired, got a gold watch. Husband and wife went on a cruise, and that was life. Very linear, very age-defined, and very short. You knew exactly what you were supposed to do based on how old you were. We know that 100 years ago, average life expectancy was only 47, so this linear life plan made a lot of sense. But today, that's really transformed. And think about this new cyclic life plan. What does that look like? Well, it looks like people going back to school at, say, 45 or 60 or 80. It looks like people having second careers, maybe third, maybe even fourth careers, sometimes because they want to, sometimes because they have to. It means that people get the opportunity to reinvent who they are. For the last 25 years, I've been looking at demographic trends and what they mean for the workplace and for our lives. And for the last 5 or 6, I've been very focused on women's role in the economy and in our future and how it's really transforming our world. And what I've really come to see is that we're part of a great human leap forward. We're all part of this demographic shift, women gaining power, that in fact may be the biggest change agent of the 21st century. And we're such a part of it that sometimes we don't even realize that it's taking place. Because after thousands of years of economic dependency, we're seeing a critical mass, not just 1 or 2, but a critical mass of women gain education, gain earning power, and in fact gain influence in our society, really transforming the way the world works. And again, we're so in it, we hardly even notice it.